And now this is being recorded. So I wanted to thank you all for joining us today, no matter what time it is for you. We appreciate your attendance in our webinar information session on the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program offered by the University of Illinois in partnership with Coursera. While we're getting started, just wanted to let everyone know that this is being recorded. So if you miss anything, get interrupted, have to get up, get some water, have a pet jump on your computer, any of those things that might happen while you're in a live session on Zoom. This is being recorded and will get sent out to everybody sometime tomorrow morning or in about 12 to 15 hours for everyone, regardless of what time zone you're in. Just wanted to let folks know that they are muted and will be muted throughout the presentation. Just makes it easier to manage everything. But if you have questions, please submit them in the Q&A chat. We'll be answering those. And then we will be reading out some of those and calling them out for folks and asking them so that those can be on the recording for others watching this back. We will have plenty of time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. So do not worry about that. With that, just wanted to get started. I'll go over a few things about the program. We'll have some introductions, staff, and then we have two faculty that have taught in the program that are here that will share a bit about the two courses in the program. We'll talk over application process, deadlines, costs, and things like that. But if you have questions or think of something ahead of time and don't want to forget it, go ahead and submit that in the Q&A chat. So welcome, everybody. This is a bit of the overview I just provided. There's two courses that are part of this program, EPOL 472 and EPOL 483. We'll hear a little bit more about those shortly. And even a pathway if you complete the certificate program and want to earn a master's degree. There's a program that is very closely aligned that we'll be sharing some information about that as well. With that, you'll see some of us in the call here. Office of Online Programs, we have our Assistant Dean, Sangeetha is here. We have our Online Student Advisor, Brianna Davis is here. I myself, Travis Giffen, and the Assistant Director of Online Programs. Really appreciate seeing you all. So if you see any of these people answering things, that's who they are, and they know what they're doing. We also have two professors in the program, with Dr. Rubeck and Dr. Best here. And they'll be sharing some things momentarily about their program also. With this, I'm going to turn things over to Sangeetha for a bit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our information session. We're so happy you decided to join us this evening. At least it's evening here in the US in Central Time. So I'm Sangeetha Gopalakrishnan, and I head online programs for the college. And I wanted to give you a quick overview before we turn things over to our faculty members. So in this program, you're going to learn, as Travis said, it's a two-course program. And what the program will cover is we kind of give you an overview here. So you learn to solve real-world problems, real learning and performance problems. You will learn to integrate technology with today's learning environment. And you'll master key concepts in instructional and training system design. You'll learn about learning technologies and much more. So as I mentioned, there are two courses. Each course is 4 credits, and these are graduate credits. So you will earn a total of 8 graduate credits. And so the two courses are EPOL 472 and EPOL 483. And no worries, you're going to hear more about these two courses from the faculty members as we continue. So what do you need to get started in the certificate program? You need a bachelor's degree. The total cost is $2,384. It can take anywhere from 3 to 5 months, and we'll give you a little bit more information of how that'll play out later. And basically, the 8 credits that I mentioned are graduate credits, so which means you can stack them into a degree program, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Both courses have weekly synchronous sessions, so live sessions, and they involve hands-on projects. So what sort of students join our program? So our students really come from a variety of settings. They come from higher education or healthcare, IT, business, K-12, military, and so on. This is just a few of the settings they come to us from. And what can you do? Sometimes students want to know, what can you do after you finish? What do our students do? They go on to get jobs as instructional designers, curriculum developers, e-learning specialists, trainers, training and development specialists, training and development managers, instructional coordinator, and so on. Again, this is not an exhaustive list of all possible job titles. We just wanted to give you an idea of the types of jobs, job opportunities that are open to you as you finish this program. And now I'm happy to turn things over to our faculty members. And I think Kelly is starting today.
All right. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure that I'm not talking and I'm muted or whatnot. Okay, so I am Dr. Kelly Best Huddy. I currently, this is my fourth semester teaching the EPOL 483. It's been a great experience. My full-time job, I work for Eastern Illinois University. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Technology for their master's program. And I went through and graduated with my PhD in human resource development from UIUC. I finished that up in 2020. So, you know, especially this course, I had to take it. And so I definitely understand what it's like being a student as well as an instructor. So if there's anything else you want to know about me, just let me know.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. B. Rubeck, and I am also an adjunct lecturer for the Department of Education, Policy, Organization, and Leadership at UIUC. But I'm also a senior process improvement and learning and development specialist for The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio, which is where I live. I earned both my master's and my doctorate degrees in human resource education at University of Illinois, there in Champaign-Urbana, my beloved alma mater. My research interest for my doctorate was focusing on the meaning of work and meaningfulness and engagement in the world of technology. I have a breadth of experience in strategic learning and development, teaching, instructional design, and workplace training across different industries, from government to healthcare, higher education, and corporate. And you know, what's so wonderful about being able to be an adjunct lecturer for University of Illinois and working in the operations side at the Ohio State University is it really allows me to continue my passion for exploring creative ways to bridge the gap between research and teaching and practice. So I'm very happy to be here tonight, and thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us for the information session. I'm first up this time. EPOL 472, Instructional and Training Systems Design. This is a course that I have taught, oh my goodness, for years now. This course is very dynamic. You will learn key components of instructional design and training systems design that is guided by different instructional design models and rooted in various learning and instructional theories. This course will prepare you to select, organize, and develop effective instruction and training applicable to lots of different contexts. You'll gain a deep understanding of how people learn cognitively and emotionally so that the development of learning content and design will be more tailored and meaningful and engaging to your audience. So what happens in this course? So for instructional training systems and design, it is the design of an instructional solution to a learning and performance challenge. So in this particular course, we focus on the ADDIE framework, which you see over to the right of your screen. The ADDIE framework is an acronym that stands for Analyze, Design, Develop, and Implement. And then in the center, you see Evaluate. Foundational to that framework are the conceptual and theoretical foundations that are fundamental to instructional design. In this particular course, the major projects that you'll focus on is a group instructional design project, case studies on instructional design scenarios, and then an e-portfolio development that you'll be able to share with employers. So let's talk a little more in depth about each one of those large projects. We'll cover the instructional design project. We'll talk little more in depth in instructional design case scenarios, and then also that e-portfolio development. So the instructional design project, as an instructional designer, you will be asked to design and develop an education program to fulfill the learning needs of your target audience. In this project, you'll play a key role in conducting a front-end analysis, defining the learning objectives, selecting relevant technologies, and developing the learning materials and evaluating design outcomes. This is a very much a project-based course, so you will be designing this project in a group setting. We try very diligently, wherever you are at in the world, to connect you with people that are in your respective time zones, and you'll collaborate and build this design project together. This course also has 4 different instructional design case study scenarios. Again, you'll work as a group. You'll select one of these case study scenarios to provide a solution, and you'll write a paper as a group, thinking about and brainstorming a particular solution to one of these particular scenarios. The first scenario is the analysis scenario, and that is the analysis for new training development for product managers. Or you can expand on that and go to scenario 2. And in that, you'll learn the design scenario, where you'll look at macro level design decisions for new trainings for associate project managers and project managers. The third scenario, it focuses on implementation, which answers the question, can change management processes reveal underlying concerns? So you'll try to anticipate and imagine what it would it would look like to implement the training that is presented in that scenario, given some different factors and variables that you need to consider. And then for the fourth scenario is the evaluation scenario. And that you'll approach the problem and offer solutions for evaluating low evaluation participation rates. So what would be some potential solutions that you might approach this particular problem with? And I don't see the e-portfolio, so I did want to say at the end there, that e-portfolio is also, that is an individual project. And that is something that you will create as a professional artifact that you will be able to present to respective employers, maybe even your current supervisor, to substantiate what you've done in this class. It really focuses on your instructional design project and your learning unit that you will develop within that project that is your own. And you'll be able to, like I said, present that to prospective employers. You'll be able to take that with you. I know that there has been several of my students that have kept in touch with me and let me know where they're at in their careers. And some have received promotions as a result of this class. Not to say that we guarantee promotions and not to say that we guarantee new jobs, but it does actually give you this opportunity to present what you've been able to accomplish, and you can now walk the walk as instructional designers. So I just wanted to throw that out to you. The e-portfolio we do through Adobe Express primarily, but if you have currently worked in an e-portfolio platform, we are open to different e-portfolio platforms as long as they are shareable. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Best.
And Dr. Rubik, I just wanted to clarify, because you might have said it, but for your class, the portfolio is required, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So if you have any further questions about the portfolio, you probably want to ask Dr. Rubik, because it is a option in 483. So I actually haven't had a lot of students take advantage of that. She has a lot more experience, so she can give you more details on that. Okay, so EPOL 483, Learning Technologies. This course is about identifying and analyzing potential learning technologies to integrate into TEAL environments, and TEAL stands for technology enriched and enabled learning environments, and then be able to justify those choices based on sound learning theories, frameworks, and models. So your goal in what we hope to get across is to help you understand how you can align the instructional design theories, design models, existing learning technologies, and the learning environment design blueprints to solve organizational learning and performance problems across contexts. All right, slide. So the infographic on the right-hand side just depicts what we cover each week in the course. So we go over learning, design, and technology, each one of those terms separately, but then more importantly, in combination with one another to solve those organizational performance and learning problems. We talk about different learning technologies. We go from the very basics, maybe of using screen capture, all the way to more immersive technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, and AI. We also dive into a little bit of the history of the field and how it's evolved and how certain factors play into how it has evolved and how it will evolve in the future. Of course, we go over some main theories, frameworks, and models of design to better understand how those models play into our design choices and can be used to justify or provide a rationale for our design choices. As I said, on the left-hand side, we go over some immersive learning environments, talk about those and, the benefits and some of the limitations of those. And then ending up with the trends and values. So we want you to come away with another goal is to not only know the theories and the models and the technologies available, but start to integrate them and start to develop your own design theory and what's going to guide you based on your values and the industry that you're in. So the 3 major learning activities for the course are listed there, and we'll go into more detail on each one in the next slides. I believe that we have a slide for each one. Okay, so we do have discussion posts that are done weekly, and that's individual. But then we have 2, I would say, types of major learning tasks that are actually group assignments. And I know that can be a bit of a challenge, especially, with having learners in this learning community spread, all over the world, but that's what also makes it so unique and exciting. And so each group will be assigned an ELT learning technology. So your group may be assigned game-based learning or simulations. And so your group needs to research that particular technology, and then you'll create a presentation, answering some of the questions and covering certain objectives that we give you. And then you'll actually record the presentation and submit a recording of that. So that is a group assignment, and you only have one of those. The next major assignment is the case studies. And so this is actually 3 different design case studies. And I'm not sure if the next slide breaks them down more. Yes. So these are done in weeks 3, 5, and 7, again, as a group. So what we do is we give you a case scenario, a company, you have all the background information on that company, and then you will, you have a certain title or objective for each one of the case study. So it's utilizing the same company, but we have you, so in the course we go over, we use Horton's method, and what he argues is that in order to really achieve an objective, learner to achieve an objective, they really need to go through 3 types of learning activities. 1, absorb type activities where they're getting the information, absorbing the information, and then do type activities where they're being able to apply the information. And then finally connect type activities where they learn how to connect it, what we call near and far transfer, connect it to, maybe their current situation and then their future goals. And so each one of the design case studies has you focus on one of those types of activities. So the first one, you will create learning objectives and then create or design absorb type activities. Second one, you would design do type activities, and the third, you would design connect type activities, and then back that up, provide rationale and justification for those design choices, utilizing the theories and the models that we go over. And then, like I said, Dr. Rubik can add in anything here, but we do offer the option of doing an e-portfolio in this course. It is not required. And so, Dr. Rubik gave a brief introduction, but if there's anything you want to add, go ahead.
You are always welcome to reach out to me as a student of Dr. Bess if you're interested in developing an e-portfolio. Sometimes students will take Dr. Bess ePol 483 course first, so you don't have that e-portfolio, but if you wanted to get a start on that, you're more than welcome to reach out and ask me more about that. But we use Adobe Express. It's very easy to navigate. We also have the team from our Center of Instructional Technology and Learning, I think is the acronym for that, CITEL. They join us the very first night of class and help all of our learners get familiar with the navigation. Adobe Express is free to University of Illinois students, including our students going through the MasterTrack certificate program. So there won't be any expense involved for the Adobe Express for you if you are interested in pursuing that option.
And I think that something, Dr. Rubik said too, there isn't, it's okay if you happen to take one course before the other one. I think both of us, and I'm sure whoever teaches it going forward, will make sure that you're not missing out, that you still have all the information that you would need to do well and be successful in the course, no matter, which course you take first. It's not, necessarily that if you take, hers first, that you'll be completely lost in 483. I think we try to supplement and give you enough information so that you're successful with whatever path that you take with that.
There was a question that I saw that popped up about the e-portfolio in the question and answers. I wanted to answer that really quick if I could live. I also wanted to throw a little shout out to Tara. I saw Tara was one of my students, and I just wanted to say, hey, Tara, I saw you're online. So I'm glad to see you here. For the question, do you have any links to sample portfolios to see what we will be creating? I do share a student's e-portfolio and go over the e-portfolio throughout the course. It gives you an opportunity to see what the e-portfolio looks like. And also, I think it helps students put and make connections between the content that's required in your instructional design project. So I think it was really beneficial to talk about that. I have the student's permission to continue to use the e-portfolio. She did a fantastic job. We do start very, very slowly building our e-portfolios. That's one of the first assignments for the first, let's see, I believe the second week and the third week. The first is just a simple welcome page that just introduces you. And then just your name and welcome. That's it. The second week, I ask you to share a little bit more about you. What is meaningful to you? What has been your career path? What are your aspirations? And you build that in. And then we just turn to your instructional design project, where you'll provide a summary, and then you'll go into really showcasing your own individual learning unit, which is part of your group instructional design project. And that is your own. And that's what you would talk to and present as part of your e-learning portfolio. And so if you are sharing that with prospective employers, that is the work that you've done. And the same way with your supervisors, if you're looking to maybe transition into another department, if you're looking for a promotion, I've had several students that go that pathway. So it is yours to take with you. And let me know if that answers your question. There's another question. Which one should I take first, please, if I may ask for advice? Well, as Dr. Best said, and as I've said as well, it doesn't really matter which one you take first. A lot of students, it really is dependent on their own schedules and competing priorities. I think that the instructional design class is very foundational to what Dr. Best will also be instructing on in 483. I have taught 483 as well. I think that the instructional design course gives you some foundational knowledge in how to construct your learning objectives and how to design kind of some of those trainings. You're just applying those same principles and those same theories to the use of technology. So sometimes it's advantageous for students, especially students that aren't as experienced as some of the other students in the class, to take 472 if you have the opportunity to take that first. If you're not, very experienced in instructional design. Others who have more experience tend to have no trouble, navigating 483. So it's really dependent on your needs, competing priorities, and your level of experience and comfort. Are there any other? Yeah, let's go ahead, Travis.
Oh, I was just going to say, with that, we can move into the program format and we can get back to more questions here.
Okay, sure.
Awesome. My name is Brianna Davis. I'm the online student advisor. I serve as a helpful point of contact for students in online programs. So if you decide to pursue one of our programs, we will be working together as you make your way through the program. We're just going to take a couple slides to discuss the program format and how these courses will be delivered to you as a student. Our classes are hosted entirely online. They do revolve around weekly synchronous sessions. As we've heard from our instructors, collaboration is key in this program, and our synchronous sessions offer a really great opportunity for you to interact with your peers and professors live and in real time. It also allows you to engage in group work in a really authentic way. And additionally, as a student in this program, you'll have access to necessary support from your instructors via channels such as office hours. So just a little bit more about the program format and how the courses are delivered. These courses are each 8 weeks in length. This summer, the weekly synchronous sessions will meet one night per week for 3 hours. Please note that we are located in the Central Time Zone, so students who are not located in the Central Time Zone should plan accordingly. For the summer 2024 semester, EPOL 472 will be held on Tuesdays starting the week of May 13th. EPOL 483 will be held on Thursdays starting the week of June 10th. As a student in the Coursera Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program, the first 2 live sessions are required, but participation in all of the other class sessions is highly recommended. The synchronous sessions really are the best way to get the most out of your experience in these courses, again, as they allow you the opportunity to interact with your peers and professors and ask questions in real time. So we do see these sessions as a really valuable aspect of this program. But again, the first 2 sessions of each course are required. The rest are highly recommended. For students, each class, students can anticipate about 8 to 12 hours of asynchronous work outside of class each week. So you'll have the 3 hours in the synchronous sessions and then about 8 to 12 hours of asynchronous work per week per course. I would like to note that during our summer session, these courses do overlap by 4 weeks. So during this 4-week overlap period, students will be actively participating and completing coursework for both courses at the same time, which makes for a heavier course load. So please be sure to take this information into consideration and plan accordingly if you decide to pursue this program during our summer semester. So on this slide, you can see the different timelines for completion for the program. As Sangeeta mentioned, our timeline is going to vary between about 3 to 5 months. The timeline to completion is contingent upon the term when you begin taking coursework. So for students who plan to complete both courses during our summer semester, the program will take 3 months to complete. So this is going to be the very quickest that a student can complete this program. Again, on this kind of expedited timeline, please note that there's a 4-week overlap of those 2 courses during the summer term, making for a heavier course load. Looking at our 4-month option, students who take both courses during a fall semester or both courses during a spring semester can complete the program in about 4 months. These plans are highlighted in options 1 and 2 under the 4-month heading that you see on this slide. Also completing the program in 4 months are students who take courses on a summer B, fall A plan, and students who take courses on a spring B, summer A plan. So there are quite a few 4-month timeline options. And then lastly, students who take courses during our fall B semester, which is the end of our fall semester, and the spring A can complete the program in about 5 months. So I realize this is a lot to take into consideration. If you have questions about your timeline to completion or your options, please contact the Office of Online Programs. We will put our email in the chat for you. We are happy to answer your questions if you have any questions about your time to completion. And with that, I will hand it over to Sangeeta to discuss our online master's programs.
Well, thank you, Brianna. So as you're thinking about the timeline and options, we have some exciting news. We're launching a master's concentration in instructional design. It's called Instructional Design Technology and Organization Program. We're launching it this fall. So what it will allow you, so one idea here is that once you complete the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate, as I mentioned, that's 8 graduate credits. You can stack those 8 credits into our master's program. So if you are admitted to the master's program, you would be able to apply these 8 graduate credits towards the total credit hours needed to complete the master's program. So that's something for you to think about. So you can continue if you like the field of study, instructional design, and you want to get a graduate degree, you can continue with us. Talk to us if you want to know more, but the basic dates are given here on the slide. We have applications closing on July 15th. If you aren't able to make that timeline, we have a September 15th timeline for you. So that gives you enough time to get your master's application packet together, I think, and apply. Okay.
Yeah, one other thing that I just wanted to shout out is you can still apply for this program while you're in the MasterTrack program. So you don't have to wait till you've completed the MasterTrack program in order to apply for a master's. So go ahead and start that application right away if you're thinking about it. With that, I'm just going to share some quick information here. Just want to let everyone know the career services for IDMTC students is available. So we have asynchronous career services, presentations available through synchronous and some synchronous career-related sessions that are offered each semester, either through online programs at the graduate college, and even graduate student services office that are available for MasterTrack students to attend. You can also have individual sessions if you'd like to have a conversation with myself about planning, strategy, or anything like that. Happy to meet with people and talk about their next plans and help make sure that you're in the best shape you can for what it is that you want to do next. And then I'm also going to talk about enrolling in the MasterTrack program. So We had shared this a little bit earlier, requirements, program costs. A bachelor's degree is required to enroll in the certificate program, and the total cost of the program is $2,384. Once you enroll, you will pay the University of Illinois for each course. So the two courses separately are $1,192, which is how you get the grand total for them both. If you only register for one course at a time, you will only be charged for one course at a time. But if you register for both courses during a term, for example, you'll be charged for both courses all at once. So a quick example of that would be if you decide to just take one of the courses this summer, you will be charged for $1,192 for the course you take this summer. And then if you take the other course in the fall, you will be charged for that second course at that time. But if you decide to take both courses this summer and enroll in them both right away, you would be charged the $2,384. There are payment options. It is a non-degree program, so there is not financial aid available, but there are payment plans that are available here, including options if you have an employer paying for your program also can be found through that same link, which is something that some students have taken advantage of before also. To enroll in the program, you can go to the web address here listed here on the screen and start your application and registration process. We hope that you consider doing so. Again, this will get sent out to you all afterwards. So if you don't get this right away, you can get that in the email and video that will be sent out to everybody tomorrow. So, and deadlines are an important thing. So if you're wanting to get started on this program this summer, applications are open now. Applications for if you want to start with EPOL 472 or the first class close April 29th, and class starts May 13th. If you want to start with Term B and EPOL 483, those close on May 27th and class starts the first week of June. Again, you can register for both classes right away, or you can register for one class and the other class. But if you want to take them this summer, you'll need to make sure that you're registered for 472 by the time Term A closes on April 29th and 483 by May 27th. And if you have questions or think of anything after this presentation, or you're watching this recording back later and you have questions, you can always email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. We'll be happy to answer your questions and do what we can to support you.
I guess this is me. So as we're approaching the end of our presentation, I wanted to give you some final thoughts on why you would choose to study at the University of Illinois. We are a top-tier research university. Recently, we were ranked number 7 by US News and World Reports out of about 300 institutions. So this is a study of all online masters in education programs, and we rank number 7. We are affordable for being a top-tier research university. We have world-class faculty teaching our courses. We focus on online student engagement. It's very important to us. And when you are taking an online course, 472 or 483, and most of our other online courses as well, you will have the opportunity not only to study from world-class faculty, but also study with peers who have very rich and diverse backgrounds. So you will learn from their experiences as well. And as a student here at the University of Illinois, you will have access to all our wonderful resources, such as our library, which system is considered one of the best in the country. So you will have access to our library system as well as an online student. So I hope I've given you, or we have given you, some good information in this hour, and that you have some great reasons for choosing to study here at the University of Illinois.
And with that, we're open for more questions for folks. So I do see one question in here right away that I'll ask for both of our faculty. Are there any other applications that are used throughout the program besides Adobe Express, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but Zoom I know is also used throughout the program. But wanted to ask that question to both of our faculty here.
So I can.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm going to turn it over to you too, Dr. Best. As far as applications, if you are meaning, do you use any type of authoring software? We do not. We don't use that, like, for instance, Captivate or Articulate. Only because a lot of times those are license-based and cost prohibitive to students. So as far as my course, there aren't any other types of applications that you would necessarily use unless you have access to them yourself. You can always integrate different applications of your choice into your instructional design. That is fine. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Best, though, because I know in her course she explores a few different avenues of technology.
Yeah, I mean, for 483, there isn't, as in Dr. Rubik's, there isn't any specific software that we require or technologies that we require you to purchase or download. I would, Coursera obviously is the other big one, but we try to discuss the learning technologies without you having, that extra burden of, because a lot of what we talk about is accessibility and usability of the learning technologies. And I don't know if this is an issue, but Travis, we might want to say something about the orientation in Coursera. I don't know if it's been an issue for Debbie, but I know for 483, the course won't pop up in Coursera unless you complete the orientation. So I just want to throw that out there that, make sure if you do, do the MasterTrack certificate and go through Coursera, that you complete the orientation.
Yeah, so I can just add a little bit on that. Once you finish your application, and if you're admitted into the program, you will get a welcome email from our office with instructions on how to access the course, set up your student account. One of the things that we have for students to do before they start their program is an onboarding course, which helps students get familiar with the program and gives them some insights and helps prepare them for being successful in this certificate program. That does have to be completed before you will get access to either of the courses in the Coursera platform. So we encourage students to complete that as soon as possible. It takes between 3 and 6 hours. Some people can do it a little faster depending on how fast you read. But it's mostly reading and some videos and some quizzes just to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into and that you're prepared for the certificate program. It's not meant to be a barrier. It has some resources, including study tips and tricks and some other resources, including how to access the library and get books for the program like that also. So, but yes, thank you for calling that out, Kelly. Any other questions?
Like the questions have suddenly stopped.
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes still. I know that we had one question about how long would this potentially go for. They said that somebody had to head off to work soon, so completely understand that. Again, as a reminder, some people may have joined us partway through. This is being recorded. It'll get emailed out to everybody sometime tomorrow, roughly 17 hours or so. I think if my math is correct on that, but you should get it tomorrow. If you, for some reason, don't get it, you can always email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu and I can resend that link to you. I know sometimes people's spam filters are kind of tricky and snatch up those emails, but that recording will be available and we can get that sent to you. If you have any other questions about anything else that took place tonight, you can also email us for that also.
And along those same lines, I think somebody mentioned that the first 2 classes in the course are required, but then the following synchronous sessions are highly encouraged. So yes, we want you to be there every week for the synchronous sessions, but we do understand that, you know, this course isn't just what you're sitting around waiting to do. You have lives and families. And so we do record all the synchronous sessions and email links out to those recordings the day after the synchronous session, so you can get caught up on the material that you may have missed.
And for folks watching back the recording afterwards, we did get one question that was asking if there are any additional expenses like application licenses, fees. There are no other fees associated with our online programs. There are some textbooks for the program, but I think you could, if you act quick, you can usually get those through the library. And again, as I mentioned, there's information in the onboarding course about how to access library resources and get the textbooks for the program.
Yes, both the courses for both the textbooks for 483 are online and free through the library. So that is definitely not an incurred cost for you.
All right, well, I'll do a last call for questions or see if any of our panelists, oh, there we go, got one. Always get one at least. This person asks, how do we confirm which of these courses might be accepted? Oh, so all of these courses that are offered through, both these courses are offered through the College of Education. If you are planning on going into another program here in the College of Education, there's just a process that you go through once you've been admitted in order to have these courses applied toward your degree program. But here, as long as you're in the College of Education, it's a pretty simple process. And our staff definitely will help you through that, getting those courses to be applied towards your other program here in the College of Education. Oh, yes, I have a poll. Thank you so much. I have a get your feedback. It's not showing on my menu bar, but we wanted to make sure that this event met your expectations, and so if you could give us your feedback on that, we would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everybody who has attended. Really appreciate your interest in the programs. Hope to see your application shortly. And we look forward to having you in the program, and thank you again for attending. But give folks still some time here while we have this poll going, and feel free to ask more questions if you have them. So most people have answered that poll, so really appreciate it. Thank you for giving us that feedback. Any last questions? All right. Well, if we didn't get to anything, please know that you can email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. We'd be happy to answer those questions and follow up with you. As I said before, I hope to see your application soon. Take care, no matter what time of day it is. And for those watching back this program afterwards, thanks for joining us. Take care, everyone.